Welcome to Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch, the podcast that explores the unexplained with humor and curiosity. Hello and welcome to Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch, here with my pal and co-host Irene Bremis. Hi, Irene.
Hello, sweetie.
Hi, sweetie. Irene, today we have a Broadway superstar, legendary performer, and I got to do a show with her a couple years ago. Now we're about to do another show together, and you know her from the original cast of Hamilton. Please welcome Phillipa Soo.
Hello. Thank you for that introduction.
Hi. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Hi.
Yeah, so Philip and I were in a show at the Kennedy Center, and I'm going to stick the landing on that name, at doing Guys and Dolls a couple years ago. And Philippa was the lead, and I was a wacky walk-on. I played this tough gangster that's usually played by a big dude. But anyway, that's how I got to hang and know Philippa. And now we're about to do a show at City Center called High Spirits in the woo-woo theme.
Woo-woo.
It does have to do with ghosts. And yeah, we're about to do that. So it's our second show together, Pippa.
It's amazing. I can't believe it. I feel how lucky I feel. You must know this. I feel so lucky that I get to work with you, not just once, not just twice, but also, let's not forget, 3 times that I've worked with you.
What's the 3 time?
Dr. Odyssey.
Oh my God, how could I forget? The big TV thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, this show, Dr. Odyssey, that Philippa was the lead on, and I should have stuck that in the credits because, of course, you've done so much past Hamilton.
Please.
But yes, there was a show, a Ryan Murphy show last year. Yeah,
last year.
Called Dr. Odyssey, and you were one of the lead people in that. And I got to be in the pilot episode playing kind of an obnoxious cruise ship passenger who kept getting injured.
Wait, remind me, you were injured. You went down a water slide or you got shrimp poisoning?
So my husband kept getting injuries because it's kind of a medical show. And my husband kept getting into mishaps. Like he ate too much shrimp at the buffet and he got food poisoning. And then there was a scene. This is the humiliation of sometimes being an actor, that I had to do a scene in a bathing suit and I had to go down a twisty water slide, literally. And like the stunt was to like run into him, and then like I almost like killed him, but because I ran into him from the water slide. But I actually, like, in case you're wondering for TV magic, actually they did have the whole cruise ship set, which was like unbelievably decadent. I guess the Ryan Murphy money for a set is no joke.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Anyway, they had a twisty, like 3 loop-de-loop slide. And by the time we shot it, it was like 3 a.m. So it's one of those things where you're in your bathing suit going down a loop-de-loop, literally screaming. I didn't have to fake that. Then you're like, this is my job. So, yes.
It was amazing. We were all very jealous of you because you actually got to go down the slide. The rest of us, like, I never went down the slide once.
The slide was pretty fun.
I know.
But you did a whole season of that.
I did a whole season of that, and now back in New York and doing some theater with my favorite pal, Rachel Dratch.
And your real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale, plays your husband in the show, which
That's right.
You guys did that in Guys and Dolls. Well, wait, you guys were love interests.
We were love
yeah.
interests. I guess by the end we ended up getting married.
Is this the second time you guys have played a couple, or have there been more?
Well, we did a TV show during the pandemic where we played a couple. And then we did a reading of Kiss Me Kate way back in the day. I think this was like, maybe 2017, 2016. And that was the first time we'd actually worked together. But this is our first time doing a theater show in New York together.
Okay. And is it like, I'm going to ask the most cliche question, but like, is it fun to work with your husband?
Yes, I love this question.
You get it all the time, I'm sure. Yeah.
I love it. Well, it's because it's like, I think for a lot of people, you want to be able to work with your partner, and sometimes it just doesn't work out for one reason or other, or even just like the sheer fact that we're so lucky that we get to live and do this job and make a living doing it.
Yeah.
But the fact that like we get to be in the same room together multiple times is just such a gift. And truly after Guys and Dolls, really like that was like the sort of big test of like, do we like working together? Is this a thing that could really work out? It was so much fun. I mean, we had a blast. And I think that's because we have a very different way of working, but we have really similar values in terms of just like how we want the room to be, morale for everyone, having fun. Making something is really important because, like, why are we doing this if it's not fun?
You guys were like the den parents because the bar closed super early at the hotel we were all staying at. And you guys had like, I forget what room it was. Like, are you going to room 419 tonight? It was like the secret club, like where you had the whole fully stocked bar and we'd all cram in there. But you guys really created like the camaraderie together. So that was fun.
Basically every night, once the bar shut down really super early, which was kind of ridiculous, we were like, come to our room. And we just bought a bunch of alcohol for ourselves and we would order pizza and we would sit on the floor of our hotel room and just talk and eat pizza and drink until like 4 a.m.
It was really fun. It was like, we're show folk sitting on the floor. Yeah, it was fun.
It was great.
But I can carry a tune, let's put it that way, but I cannot sing like Broadway sing. And you two both have the voice of an angel, of two angels.
Oh my
gosh. Your
gosh.
voices are incredible. And I got to listen to you guys every night at Guys and Dolls, blowing the roof off the joint. So I can't imagine like living in a house where two people are just, I don't know, imagine you guys like singing in the shower and stuff.
We do. We sing a lot, but also we make fun of each other a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think our singing in the house together, people imagine it being like, and then they're singing some duets together, like in their house. It's a lot more silly than that. But yes, it does happen.
Okay, good to know. You know that thing that happens when you want to read an article and in a moment of weakness, you're like, sure, I'll subscribe to this entire magazine. Or your kid's playing a video game and unbeknownst to anyone involved, inadvertently creates a monthly charge that takes you about 8 months to notice. Yeah, and do you know how time-consuming it is to try to cancel a subscription? I feel like it's designed to be difficult. Well, Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money tracks subscriptions and has the ability to cancel within the app with a few taps. Saving time and avoiding charges. Also, with Rocket Money, you can set budgets and goals, get personalized insights and regular reports, and receive real-time alerts for large transactions, upcoming bills, refunds, and low balances. The app consolidates checking, savings, loans, and investments into a single dashboard to give users a clear view of their financial picture. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/woo. That's rocketmoney.com/woo. rocketmoney.com/woo. Well, so just for like, I was thinking, what to ask you about your whole career. And of course, I just figured I'd ask you a little bit about Hamilton because you were in the original cast and they just celebrated their 10-year anniversary. And I know there was stuff around that too. But I guess I was wondering, like, when the origins of Hamilton, when you got the show, were you like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing? Or what was your vibe on it when you first got the show?
Well, it all started with a reading that I was asked to do of Act 2. They had already worked on Act 1 that summer at New York Stage and Film, I think is where it was. And I knew of Tommy and Lynn because of In the Heights. And I had a friend at drama school who one day in between class was like, check this out. And he showed me this YouTube clip of Lynn rapping at the White House doing the first number of the show. And when they called me to ask if I wanted to do this reading, they were like, yeah, so we're making a show. It's called Hamilton Mixtape. And I was like, oh, like that video that I saw of Lynn at the White House. And they're like, yeah, we're making it into a whole show. And so I had this wonderful phone call with Tommy Kail where he was like, we want you to come and read and play Eliza. We're going to do a week. We're going to work on Act 2. It's not done yet, but we're bringing in some other folks. So I think at that point, David was coming in. Leslie was coming in. And it was just going to be a very small, intimate table read. And I was like, great. And I get off the phone. And I'm like, who's Eliza? I had no idea who she was.
And like, why would you kind of?
I'm like, I barely even know who the founding fathers are.
Okay,
bad civic person over here. But like, I didn't have a relationship to history before that. And then certainly, after my involvement with the show, it became everything, just legacy and history and being a citizen and what that means and democracy. And it just like opened up a whole world of thinking that I just hadn't thought about before.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I know it started at the Public, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it always like, this is definitely going to Broadway? Or like, did you have a feeling like this is going to be the biggest thing ever? Did you have that vibe, or do you never know that?
Yes. So Hamilton was my first Broadway show, and I was probably 23 when I did the first.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
When I did the first reading. And then we went to the Public when I was 24. And I turned 25 the summer before going to Broadway.
Wow.
So yeah, I was very young and I didn't know anything. I didn't have a metric, for what was really good, what succeeds, what doesn't. I just knew that from the moment we were all standing at the music stands and doing the show from top to bottom, that it worked, that it was amazing, and that it was definitely going to change the world and it was going to change people.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much, and I certainly didn't know how much it would change me and my life. And I'm still, 10 years later, realizing, whoa, there's just so much that has happened and that keeps happening because of this show. It's really, really amazing.
What was the 10-year anniversary special thing that you guys did?
So for the 10-year, we had a series of, it was actually kind of amazing. We thought that maybe we would have one big event where we all got together for the 10-year, and it ended up being a lot of little events in the 10-year. So we all performed at the Tonys.
Right. Yes, I saw that.
That was sort of our big coming together moment.
Yeah.
And then we also had a theatrical release of the film, which was really exciting because the film came out during the pandemic and we didn't actually get to see the film together. So the premiere, which was, I believe, in September at the Delacorte, it was really our first time to be able to sit and enjoy the show all together. And it was so much fun. There was so much audience commentary, so much laughing and screaming, and it was just clapping. It was just so great.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and then I know you've gone on to, I know you did Camelot, and not that I have to go through all your entire resume, but what, okay, and now we're about to do this show, which has a very quick run at City Center, the Encores series called High Spirits, and it's based on a play by Noel Coward, The Blithe Spirit, and it has to do with ghosts. So I'm getting all these woo-woo little jobs along the way. Now, this is kind of funny because if anyone listened to the Amy Poehler, my episode that I did for Good Hang, Amy and I were talking about what we want to do. And I said, I want to play a maid on Broadway. Now, did you know this? Yeah. Now I know this isn't Broadway, but we were joking. And I was like, I think I said something who's just running around dusting things, something like that. And then by the time it aired, 2 weeks after it aired, I get the call to play the maid in this High Spirits. And so I instantly texted Amy. I was like, I got the call to be the maid. Because I was manifested it.
That's right.
But it's exactly the kind of maid that I wanted to be, because I don't have many lines in this play. I just scurry around in the back, and I'm a good scurrier. So I'm glad to play a maid in this. I don't have much to do in it, but you have a lot to do. You have a lot to do in this.
I think we all have a lot to do.
Yeah.
We only have, by the way, for those of you listening, the City Center Encores series used to be a reading series where you sort of put up a show in 2 weeks. And in recent years, the productions have become way more, I would say, non-reading.
Yeah, slick and produced.
Really polished, which is awesome. But I think it's one of those great opportunities to look at a new piece or an old piece of material and dust it off and figure out what's new about it and really just try to put it on its feet in 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. And Andrea Martin plays this basically like a medium. So so much woo-woo. But basically the premise is, just to get the woo out there, is that the guy, Charles, thank you. Charles, and you play his wife, but he's a widower, and his late wife comes and starts haunting your relationship. And so it's truly about ghosts. So High Spirits, February 4th through 15th. Hopefully this will air before that. But anyway, it's a very quick run, but Pip and I on stage together again. So
Once again.
so I think I was mentioning this pod to you a while ago, and you were like, "Oh, I kind of grew up in a haunted house." I think is what I remember you saying way back when. And then
I think we actually talked about this when we were eating pizza on the floor of our hotel room.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where this all started. Or at least that's where I remember hearing your ghost story.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I know you have some sort of a ghost story, and then I roped you in like I do to anyone that crosses my path now. But so, how woo-woo are you? And I think you grew up in some sort of a haunted situation.
Yeah. So how woo-woo am I? On a scale of 1 to 10 being the wooiest, I feel like I'm like a good 6, maybe a 7 since I'm an actor. Like it just goes without saying, like all actors like are a little bit woo-woo no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like right there in the middle. Like I don't know how much weight I put in it, but also definitely have had woo-woo stuff happening, which I openly invite into my life.
All right.
Yeah, like things like rituals I find to be really important and meaningful and actually can affect your whole day, can affect a performance. Do you do like rituals before a show? Do you guys have like pre-show?
I don't. Do you?
Well, I mean, I think that we all have like little superstitions sometimes, like we really have to do something so we have like a good set. And we've had guests on this show that definitely perform rituals that talked about getting on stage.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Well, I feel like I'll make them up as I go. Like I feel like for some shows, you know, it's really important to like if I have a postcard that reminds me of the character that I'm playing, like I'll make sure to like look at it before I go on stage. But I also don't put too much weight in it because I'm like, well, what if I can't look at the postcard, or like what if I can't listen to the song that really gets me excited about playing whatever, a ghost. So I don't put too much weight in it, but I do like it. Like it really makes me feel
a little touchstone or something.
Yeah, it makes me feel great and like an artist.
Yeah. Sounds like good actor background activity.
Yeah. And also I feel like, you know, I've done some like meditation, and I've worked with a Reiki specialist who told me, well, she told me a couple things, but she was like, you have 2 spirits always following you around. And I really believe her, actually. She said, I have 2 like male figures who follow me around. One's like Poseidon, and one is like a sort of like grandfather, like elderly figure. And I was like, great, I believe that. Like that's totally in the realm of possibility. I don't feel like I've ever experienced them personally, but I feel them if that's true. Yeah, so I guess a long story short, to answer your question, I'm like not the woo-wooiest person, but I definitely grew up in a haunted house.
We hear all the time how important sleep is for our well-being and for our skin. But for me, bedtime can be the time for my anxiety download. But now my nightly wind-down routine has been helping a lot. I'm talking about my dear friends at Osea. And Osea's newest products, their Dream Night Serum and Dream Night Cream. Osea's Dream Night Serum and Dream Night Cream are clinically tested formulas powered by bioretinol and designed to reduce the visible effects of stress on skin while you sleep. They promote a sense of serenity for a restful night. Osea's Dream Collection helps you settle in for the night and makes your skin feel nurtured. And Osea's newest Dream Bioretinol Body Serum is a full-body restorative treatment that visibly de-stresses the skin with a holistic blend of bioretinol, red seaweed, magnesium, and lavender. The Dream Bioretinol Body Serum promotes a sense of serenity for a restful night and delivers softer, smoother, more radiant skin by morning. This overnight firming treatment is an essential, efficient step in any bedtime routine that delivers real transformation for body and well-being, promoting a restful night while visibly firming and improving skin elasticity. I mean, we pay a lot of attention to the skin on our face, but don't forget about the skin on your body. Give your skin a rest with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code WOO at OseaMalibu.com. I love all the products from Osea, and I'm loving these new products from the Dream Collection. That's code WOO at OSEAMalibu.com. So the haunted house.
Yeah.
how old were you when you had your, like, take us through the haunted house tale.
I'll take you through the tale. It turns into other tales, which is really fun.
Okay.
But I sort of did some digging in prep for this podcast because I know my actual story. And then I was like, oh, but I have to go in and like check some facts. So I talked to my mom, and there's also more stories there, which I didn't know, which I just found out like 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, we love it.
So I grew up in this house that was built in the 1920s in Illinois, in the suburbs of Illinois. And it was this really old brick bungalow. And it was built by this guy, Michaels, and he even like carved his last name in the front of the house. And we moved in there when I was about 2 years old. So this is the early 90s. And I remember when I was about 8 or 9, I had a cousin that was moving to the States who was about 10 years older than me. So she was almost in her 20s, and she was like going on a huge adventure and moving to the States from London. And she was staying with us for a little bit. And it was early morning. She had just flown in the day before. And my mom asked me to go wake her up because she was sleeping upstairs in the guest room. This is like a 1.5 story. So there's my parents' bedroom upstairs, a guest room, a bathroom, an attic. And then downstairs is where I slept, my brother slept. There was like an office, living area, and then there's a basement in the house. So this like 1.5 story house. So she's staying up in the guest room on the second floor. And I go upstairs to wake her because my mom was like, I don't want her to sleep too much. I don't want her to get jet lagged. She should like wake up now. It's probably like 9 a.m. So I go up and I'm like trying to open this door, which the doors are always like creaky. They're old. So like they're always a little sticky, always like a little creaky. But I cannot for the life of me open this door. And so I'm like twisting and pushing and like twisting and pushing, and I like can't open it. And then my cousin opens it from the inside, and I go, oh, thank you. That was so, and I look and my cousin is still asleep in bed. So it felt like someone had opened the door, and I was sort of startled, but more just like, I thought it was kind of funny that I was struggling so hard and then the door just opened. And so I wake her up and, get her out of her like very deep sleep. And I go downstairs and I'm like, Mom, this weird thing happened. Or this funny thing happened. I just tried to open the door and then it felt like somebody opened it for me. And she just looks at me and smiles. And she's like, oh, that's funny. Because a couple of years back, I guess this is when I was like a toddler and we'd first moved in, they had a housewarming party. And my mom's friend was looking for a place to breastfeed her baby. And my mom was like, well, why don't you go upstairs to the guest room? And I guess the same thing happened to her that happened to me, where she was trying to open the door and couldn't open it. And then somebody opened it for her. And she told my mom this, and my mom sort of like laughed it off. But ever since that moment with my mom's friend, and then with me coming to my mother, there had been like a series of really strange events in the house. So all of these events I end up learning later. What I do know is when I was a teenager, I was standing in my house, just sort of like looking out the window. I think I was like waiting for my friend and like looking for her car or something. And I felt like someone had pushed me from behind, like almost like a shiver down my spine. And I just sort of laughed it off because I was like, I think my house is haunted, but maybe that was just me. And then I tell my mom this story and she's like, oh, that's so funny. Well, our house is definitely haunted. I've in fact, haven't told you this, but I've brought people over here to come and like sage the house. I've talked to these ghosts. I've asked them to like go away. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. So I go off to college and, I'm living in the dorms. And I do realize that I feel actually alone when I go to sleep, that there is like a sense of aloneness that I had never felt growing up. And anyway, so I always knew that I had a haunted house growing up and was ready to tell this story to you here today. And then I went to my mom to confirm some of these details. And she was like, oh, well, that's really interesting because I have a whole bunch of other things to tell you about the house. One being when we first moved in, we had some friends over and it was a couple, and the guy in the couple was like, there's many spirits in this house. Like he was sort of like a medium. He claimed to be a medium. And he said, there's like 6 spirits in this house. And my mother had another experience where she was alone in the house and the wine bottles just sort of went like flying off the shelf. There was another experience where I was in the house and I was like dead asleep, like in the middle of the night. And I had this leaning bookshelf that just fell in the middle of the night. And like when you take these things apart and you look at them separately, you're like, that's not that weird. But then my mom was selling the house and
so they're not there anymore.
they're not there anymore.
Okay.
My mom was selling the house and there were some realtors that came in and they were showing the house. And this was probably about like 10 or 12 years ago. And they were going through and like turning off all the lights before they were going to show it the next day. And they heard this dinging sound because my parents had this alarm system. And this dinging sound went off because it would happen every time you would open a door. And she looked at the alarm panel and I guess the downstairs cellar door, which led to the basement, had opened. And so she was like, oh, I'm going to go close that. And she closed it and sort of laughed it off and said something about like, oh, you know, my house is haunted, ha ha ha. And the realtor was like, has anybody ever told you that there's ghosts here? And my mom was like, oh, why do you ask that? And she said, well, because my husband has had he's also a realtor and he had a lot of experiences with ghosts that were not so positive. And so he has been in your house alone trying to like turn off all the lights and he feels a presence here and he actually won't come back.
Wow.
So my mom was telling me this over the winter break and I was like, that's so weird. Who do we think this ghost was? And she's like, well, I do know that the wife of Mr. Michaels died in that house. And I also know that when we put the bid in for the house and we were living at our old place, you and your brother, I was putting to bed and I looked into this mirror and I could have sworn that I saw somebody like walking around the house. And when we moved into the house, she put us to bed and my brother and I woke up screaming one night. This was like one of the early days. And so I've always felt like whatever spirit was in the house, be it one or many, there's definitely like a feminine presence, a lady, and it definitely was just a ghost that was like kind of annoying. Like it wasn't malintended. It was like kind of a funny ghost. Like it would just throw things off shelves and, you know, throw the wine bottles, or it would push you, or, you know, like it was just a silly, kind of like a silly, funny, annoying
So
ghost.
you weren't like really scared there, like unsettled.
I wasn't. There was one night when I woke up and I felt like somebody was like pushing on my chest.
Well, that's scary.
That's like a trope. And I never know if that's like some scientific explanation of it, but I had that happen too and it was terrifying.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
And
too.
at the
It's
time I
terrifying.
thought, oh my God, I'm probably just having like some sort of breathing issue.
Yeah.
But now that I look back and I think about all these weird things that happened in that house, I'm like, oh, there must have been something going on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some activity, some negative energy. How dare they throw wine off the shelf, sweetie?
Yeah, like this is like good stuff. You can't just
Disrespectful.
throw the wine off the shelf.
Disrespectful.
Everyone I know is talking about GLP-1s, and I was this close to trying them until I remembered, wait a minute, I prefer to keep needles as far away from me as possible, and I prefer natural options over injections. This podcast is sponsored by Veracity. Welcome to an all-natural way to slim down, get energized, and sharpen your focus. Veracity is revolutionizing health by tackling the root cause of so many issues, metabolism. With Veracity's drug-free, clinically proven, and doctor-formulated solutions, you can support your body's needs to live your healthiest life. If your goal is weight loss, you need to try Metabolism Ignite, the #1 doctor-recommended GLP-1 booster and GLP-1 alternative. No side effects, no allergens. Metabolism Ignite is a natural, safe, plant-based aid that results in an 85% reduction in hunger and is clinically proven to lose, on average, 9 pounds in 90 days. Hey! What I notice about Metabolism Ignite is it just makes me less hungry throughout the day and really reduces any snacking between meals. It's just 2 capsules with breakfast and you feel energized and focused all day. So what's in Veracity? It's a unique blend of lemon verbena and hibiscus extracts, green coffee bean extract, and magnesium. Plus, even if you are on a GLP-1 medication, Veracity is safe to take along with it to aid in boosting your metabolism and appetite control. With a product like Veracity, a common question is, what are the side effects? Well, since Metabolism Ignite is made from 100% natural ingredients and is caffeine-free, clinical trials showed no negative side effects from the ingredients in Metabolism Ignite. So make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use code WOO for up to 45% off your order. Once again, that's veracityhealth.co for up to 45% off. And make sure you use my promo code WOO So make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use code WOO for up to 45% off your order. Once again, that's veracityhealth.co for up to 45% off. And make sure you use my promo code WOO so they know I sent you. Wait, so I have a question. When you said you went to college and you finally felt alone, did you mean like in a good way? Like you're like, oh, this is what it's like to be, or were you feeling like lonely? Like, where are my ghosts?
Well, that's a good question. I think in a good way, because when I would go to sleep as a kid, like I always had to be completely covered. Like I always needed the covers to be like up, like right below my eyes. My hands had to be inside. I didn't like sleeping outside of the covers for some reason. And I think that might have been why. And then I got to college and I was sort of like alone in my dorm room and really being like, oh, wow.
Ghost free.
I feel alone. I feel alone.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your mom's kind of woo-woo if she was doing like sage things and like bringing in experts and stuff.
Totally. But I have to give her credit because I think as a kid, if I were like, Mom, I think something weird happened. And if she were like, it did.
Right.
You know, that would have scared me.
Yeah.
But instead, she was just sort of like, oh, I know it's haunted. Like she just sort of brushed it off and laughed about it and made friends with the ghosts. I mean, I just think that if there are spirits like people, they all have different personalities and different reasons for being around. And, you know, we can communicate with them and ask them why they're here and ask them nicely to like go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
But definitely as my mom was preparing to sell the house, there was way more strange things happening.
Wow.
I think she says they were trying to like prevent the house from being sold.
Yeah.
They liked
They
you.
liked you. Yeah.
Or they liked us. Or at the beginning, like when we first moved in, she thinks the ghost was like trying to keep tabs on us. Like, oh, who are these people? Who are these new people coming into my house? Like, what is
Right.
this?
But then they fell in love with you and now you're leaving. It makes sense if they have that same personality that they get accustomed to your energy as you're also getting used to them.
Exactly.
I'm interested about the real estate guy, you know, because I wondered so many times if real estate people have these occurrences. And it's funny that he wouldn't come back to the house. He was so scared.
Yeah. I mean, that was sort of like, I was like, oh, dang. Like, are we not feeling something that he is? He said that he felt a cold spot upstairs, that he was like, this feels like something that I've experienced before.
Wow.
And apparently, and I don't know if you've ever had any realtors on the show, but apparently when you go to like realtor conventions, there's like a bunch of these people that are like having similar experiences in these houses that they're trying to sell. And there's a bunch of stories there, apparently.
We did have one realtor on
Yes, we
because
did.
there's a famous case in Nyack where like someone tried to sell a house and she told the prospective buyer like this house has a ghost, and the person was like, we don't really believe you. And then they bought the house, but then they wanted like a ghost refund. It was this like famous case, I guess. And I guess for a while you had to disclose if you were selling a haunted house, but I don't know the rules on that now, or state to state or all that.
Yeah, like if you know it's haunted, how can you prove it?
That's true.
Right. Or are you supposed to tell? I wonder if the people there now are experiencing strange phenomena.
I know. It'd be interesting to know. I bet they are. I bet they're sort of like, why does this picture keep falling
Yeah.
off the wall? Or
Sounds
I
like
don't
you
know.
had actual like poltergeist experiences with objects. Like I've never experienced anything like that. Like that sounds like something out of the movies, but I've heard now that we do this pod, we do hear some stories like that where like physical things are moving. And I guess you could always be like, well, there's a scientific explanation. But we've thrown that out the window now that we've been doing this for a couple years. It's more fun to believe it's a ghost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess like the scientific explanation, there's probably a truth to it. But also like, again, I think woo-woo, it's like everybody's an artist. It's just a matter of tapping into it. Like, I just feel like everybody's woo-woo.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like opening yourself up to the things
Yeah.
that are giving you signs. And I feel like moments like that, when the bookshelf falls in the middle of the night, it's there because, I don't know, the floor was slippery, or it's there because you've got some thinking to do.
Right.
There's a transition happening. You need to like take some time to like go through your books on your shelf and put it back up again and figure out what you need and what you don't need. You know,
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. And I guess when I'm like a 6 or 7 on the woo-woo scale, that's kind of what I mean. Like you're as woo-woo as you make it.
Yeah.
Have you had any ghost experiences since? Because I only had my one little experience, and that's been it for the whole time. Or is that it for you?
Oh, I definitely can feel, I think that I have a sense of when a place is haunted. So Steve, my husband Steve, who you know, but the listeners don't, which is why I said that in that weird way. Steve is really afraid of ghosts. In fact, Steve is seeing a show right now because if he were here and I was telling the story, he would be crawling out of his skin. He would not be able to be in the room. Like he's terrified of ghosts. He's an ex-Catholic, so he's like terrified of ghosts and terrified of the devil.
That makes sense.
Oh my gosh, because I was doing a little photo shoot for High Spirits, and we had a Ouija board there, and there were 2 people on the little crew, and like they would not touch the Ouija board. They didn't want to touch it, but I didn't care. But that sounds like Steve.
Yeah. And like me, I wouldn't touch it either because I'm Greek Orthodox. It's like the possession of the devil. You know what I mean? Like you get scared of that. Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't even want to go near that. So we've gone apartment hunting before, and there was one specific house that we walked into once, and I was like, Steve was like, what do you think? And I was like, and sort of we like walked through the whole house, and I was sort of looking around. And then the minute that we got out, I was like, Steve, that place is 100% haunted. I don't know how you didn't feel that. So for a guy who's like super scared of haunted stuff, he like has no sense of the hauntedness.
Okay, Pippa, we had 2 guests who have a similar thing. You got to listen to Anna Gasteir's episode and Kate McCucci because they both were doing like a tour of a house. And for Anna anyway, like, because Charlie, her husband, was like all excited about this house in LA. He's like, oh, it's going to be great. Like, I think he put a deposit down. It was like a rental or something. And then she gets there and she's just like, no. Like, it looked ostensibly cheery. Like, there was nothing about, but she's just like, I get a really bad feeling.
Yes.
Well, she finds out afterwards that there had been a murder-suicide in the house. I mean, I'm sorry that that's so grim, but that's the reality of the story.
See?
And she just had that feeling. Anyway, that's her episode.
You know, you can tell the energy. It's there.
I mean, I can't tell. I feel like I'm more like if a place looks like a Scooby-Doo dilapidated thing, then I'm like, oh, this place. But I don't have the vibes for like if something looks really cute and then it's haunted.
Yeah, but sweetie, what if we have you ever? I've never been in a dark situation like that. You know what I mean? We don't know.
No,
because
but
that
I mean-
energy, I feel like lingers.
But I've never walked into a place except in a restaurant when I'm like, I don't want to sit at this table. That's I have feng shui haunted. I'm like, this table is not giving me good vibes, but it's more like atmosphere. Like I'm more attuned to like the space in the room, except for my own place, which is a dump. But aside from that, I'm great when I walk into a restaurant. Like, we want this table. Anyway, but no, I've never had like haunted vibes when I walk into a place. You have a special
You know
skill.
what would be really fun?
Yeah, what?
To find out what restaurants in New York are haunted.
Well, I've heard that. Have you heard of the restaurant Il Buco? Have you heard of that one?
Yes.
I've heard that that's haunted.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought of asking them to do an episode,
Oh,
but
get on
I
it,
don't know. They
sweetie.
seem like they wouldn't.
They might want to bury that.
Well, I know.
Wait, so we went to the Bowery Hotel and I didn't get any haunted vibes. Did you get any vibes at all when we were there?
I think that place looks creepy, but that's what I mean. That looks just like old, and even though
Yeah.
it's actually not that old. It's made to look old. It looks kind of like Haunted Mansion from Disney World, the Bowery Hotel.
Oh. Maybe that's why people think it's haunted. Maybe it's not really haunted.
Well, oh my gosh. So now I know Steve's afraid of ghosts, and so
Terrified.
do all our listeners. And yet he's doing a show with ghosts, so he's conquering his fears, I guess.
Yeah.
Resolutions come and go, but real, lasting growth takes time. That's why I love that Nutrafol isn't promising a miracle in 30 days. They're here to help you grow your hair and confidence from within, one day at a time. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. Their formulations are designed to target key root causes of thinning, things like stress, hormones, nutrition, and aging, all based on your life stage, including formulas tailored for postpartum and menopause. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested to measure improvements in growth, quality, and strength. Consistency is the key to meaningful results, and Nutrafol makes staying consistent simple, setting up for long-term success with automated deliveries, free shipping, up to 20% savings, and free one-on-one naturopathic doctor consults. So see thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code WOO. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code WOO. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code WOO.
Irene, do you want to try to guess? Sometimes Irene tries to guess the sign of our guest. Do you want to try to guess, or do you have it?
Well, I'll try. I'm feeling a little deflated, but
Okay.
let's see. I got this. Because I haven't been hitting my mark.
Look, she's giving you vibes. She's giving.
But you're giving me vibes, and I like this, that you're
Yeah, I'm
putting
putting
out
my
this
hands
energy.
in a sort of vibey
Ooh.
dance.
Oh, vibey dance.
Man.
Is this helpful?
The vibey
You're setting
dance
the
I like.
scene. Okay, Irene, what do you
really
think?
are.
I'm really bad. I don't know much about the signs, so I never guess.
Yeah, but she always nails it.
No, but if I have a really strong feeling, but I only really know the vibes of like 4 signs, and the other ones I don't
Okay.
know. So I'm gonna guess one when you're done, or maybe.
Okay, I'm going to guess one, and I'm hoping I'm right this time, but I'm getting something. I'm getting Aries, Pisces.
Yes, that was right.
No, that's not right.
Well, sweetie, a little headsy
Can I make
next
a guess?
time.
And this is totally not based on anything. I was gonna say Capricorn. No.
No.
Okay.
Not a bad one,
Okay. What's your third and final guess? Because you had 2.
though. Yes, that's right.
I'm only gonna guess that one, and I'm gonna give myself a goose egg.
Okay, I'm going to go with, let's see, Gemini.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whatever, I'll take
I
it.
don't know anything about Gemini.
People have told me that I'm the least Gemini
Okay.
that they
What
know.
are they supposed to be like?
I don't know. Everyone's like two-faced. I'm like, what is that?
No,
I don't
there's two
know
of
if that's
them.
true.
Okay.
There's 2 of them. And the women are so different than the men. I know I say that a lot, but it's true.
Yes, very true.
It's very true. I don't really care for Gemini men, but women, I think they're very creative and they can really do a lot in terms of art, like what they're working on. They can grapple a lot artistically and make it happen. I know a few Gemini women. Rachel Curran, who's a friend of ours, who's an artist, is a Gemini. I know like 3 other Gemini women that are artists, and they put out a lot of work, and they have like this very effusive personality, very positive.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's you. I mean, yes,
It's
we
me.
just met, but yes.
You know what? I feel like I do relate to the 2 sides, the 2-face Gemini sign, in that I am the kind of person who can find happiness in either or. Like, I'm the worst person to decide where to go to dinner or what to have for dinner, because my response will be, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, people like my partner or like my friends or my family are like, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, but also I would want to do the other thing
Right.
too. Like, I'm really okay with both ways. I like my quiet, but I love being an extrovert. Like, I love both things. I really don't see myself as an introvert or an extrovert.
Yeah.
That's my read on myself.
All right. Well, I was just throwing in a little bonus astrology there.
I love that.
So finally, I don't know if you saw that we did this little pendulum reading. Did you see that
Sure did.
in the literature?
Kenji.
Penji. This is my new Penji, and Irene has hers. So what we have you do is think of the question, then you're going to reveal it after we give you the answer, a yes or no question. And we always say, don't ask anything that's going to make you like really bum out if it's not the answer you want.
Okay.
But Penji is mostly right. But I'll just give the loophole that sometimes Penji's wrong. Irene doesn't like when I say that, but anyway.
Mostly right.
Okay, sorry,
let's-
Penji, you're going to get this one right. Okay, so are you thinking of
Okay.
your question?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Okay, I have my answer.
I have mine too. It's yes.
I got a yes too.
This is great news.
What is it?
Okay. So, in the spirit of woo-woo, I was also thinking about the Chinese zodiacs, which is like a very big part of my life.
Oh,
Mine
And
too.
this year is the year of the horse.
Fire horse.
Oh, yeah. Fire horse, baby.
fire horse.
And I was also born in the year of the horse. And also, my name, Phillipa, means lover of horses. But let me tell you, I really don't interact with horses. I just I don't know any horses. I don't talk to horses. I don't see horses. I've ridden a horse once, at a Western riding camp thing that you could just go on a horse ride for a day, in Illinois, back when I was 10. But since then, never really have ridden a horse and tried to, thinking I've ridden a horse before, but I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm terrified of them. They're so big. I'm this is overwhelming, but I'm so intrigued by them. So my question was, will I have a meaningful personal interaction with a horse in this next year?
Ooh.
And I guess the answer is yes.
I like that because now you can keep your eyes open for the horse signs.
100%.
And I always love that when you ask for something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're talking about something a little bit different, but now you're going to really notice, maybe you'll notice significant horses.
Or maybe I'll go on a trip and they'll be like, we've got a horse ride available. Want to ride a horse? And I'll be like, yes.
Yes.
Right. Or maybe it'll be a merry-go-round, but you will see a horse.
More of that.
I'm taking you to Bryant Park, Phillipa.
You're going to Coney Island, sweetie.
We'll go between shows.
Wait, I do have a question, though, because you just touched on this, but you said you're really into Chinese astrology, and we've never talked about that on here. And, tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't really know a whole lot other than it's been a huge part of my life just growing up. I guess sort of how the astrological signs are, where your brother's a dragon, so that explains a lot.
Yeah.
And also finding camaraderie with people who are also born in the same year as you when they share your Chinese zodiac. But also celebrating Lunar New Year and every New Year having a new animal, which sort of signifies the thing that we should all be thinking about or pondering upon that year. And if it is your year, it's supposed to be a very auspicious year.
Yes.
And it's so funny because auspicious I always thought meant lucky. And then I was like, oh no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It means just a lot of big changes, really intense things can be happening, good and bad in a year for you. And also, you're supposed to wear red in your auspicious year. So this year I should be wearing red. But then somebody clarified this for me, which I'm so grateful because I've been doing it wrong for a very long time. You're supposed to wear red that was given to you, not red that you buy for yourself. So me going out and buying a red scarf and wearing it and being this is helping me in my auspicious year is not going to do the trick.
Wow. I'm learning new things.
That's amazing. Okay, so first, let me add to that.
Yes.
This is our year. The fire horse is also our year, Rachel.
It is? We're horse? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're
Wait, we're all
horse.
horses?
Oh my God, we're all horses.
Let's Winnie, sweeties.
gosh.
Anyway,
All right.
we're all horses. It is our year.
Oh.
And I love that you said red because I went to a thrift shop and I actually bought, before I knew that, first of all, it starts, the year of the fire horse starts on February 17th. February 17th, so it starts in the Pisces, sweetie.
Okay.
Pisces.
That's me. I'm a Pisces.
It's all three of us. But I went into a secondhand shop and I picked out, I was eerily drawn to a red kimono dress. And I bought it.
Yes, honey.
Because I am crazy.
Did I see you in that already?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You were in some
this
other.
is a red
Irene
kimono
was wearing a different
dress.
red dress. Irene, we'll have to.
That's beautiful.
Irene, we'll have to give each other red things.
Let's do it, sweetie. Let's do it. I'm going to buy you something red. You too, Pippa.
We have to.
I have to find a red thing for you.
I'm going to go find some red things right now.
This is awesome because I knew nothing about that. I mean, I barely know about the zodiac signs. So then to learn about a whole other system.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a thing horses are supposed to be characteristics, or is it more?
Well, do you know, Irene?
Well, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm already a horse.
No, but I
my
meant the year of
astrology.
the horse. If you're a year of the something, is it about your character? Because I'm thinking, well, everyone in the whole year can't have the same. I don't know how that works, but do you? Or maybe
I'd have to look it up.
Well, I did look some stuff up when I was, I texted you that it's our year and it's year of the horse. I don't know if you remember, I texted that to you, fire horse. But a lot of it is taking risks. It's about risk taking
Okay.
and having this fearlessness and freedom and just go for it. It's the energy is just basically go for it.
Yes,
All right.
I love this.
And don't put any perimeters on yourself and just go for it.
Be free, like a wild horse.
Like a wild horse on
Be free like a wild horse on fire.
There we go.
That's what I was going to say. On fire, sweetie. We can't leave that out.
So Pippa, we'll be seeing you in high spirits. And is there anything else you want to like plug? Not that you have to have anything beyond that, but are you doing other things we should know about?
Well, let's see. Last year, I did a really amazing album called Warriors by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Issa Davis that I'm so fortunate to be a part of. So that's out now and you can listen to it. And I wrote a children's book called Piper Chen Sings, which is available for purchase.
Wait, tell us the name of it again.
I wrote a children's book called Piper Chen Sings.
Piper Chen Sings, children's book. Check it out.
And it's about a little girl who learns to overcome her nervous performance butterflies. And I wrote it with my sister-in-law, Maris Pascual-Dorn.
Nice.
And then High Spirits coming up.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
It was really fun.
This was great. Thanks, guys.
See you on stage, Pippa.
Have a good horse year, everybody.
Good horse year.
Good horse here.
And you can find me on Instagram at Ray Dratch. That's RAE Dratch. And you can find Irene at Irene Bremis. That's BREMIS Bremis. And thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of woo-woo. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Woo-Woo with Rachel Dratch is a Q-Code production. Executive produced by David Henning and Steve Wilson. Produced by Alexa Gabrielle Ramirez. Edited by Will Tendy.